Hey, if you're enjoying Hooks and Ladders, and why wouldn't you be enjoying Hooks and Ladders? Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and hey, head on over to songstudio.ca to check out what we're up to. If you sign up for our mailing list, you'll be the first to know everything that's coming up and everything special that we got going on at SongStudio. You won't regret it. Hey, welcome to Hooks and Ladders. What you're about to see is part of what we did at the SongStudio workshop in Toronto in July 2022. There'll be lots more to see. We're just going to roll it out a little bit at a time. So sit back and enjoy. And if you want to know more about SongStudio, visit www.songstudio.ca and check us out. Enjoy.
But this is the big one as far as I'm concerned. How do we get our music to you?
That's a good way. There's also the courier of the chocolate and champagne in your music. Just throwing that out there. I'm kidding.
Really
the bribes. This is not payola time anymore. That sailed. I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we're very accessible when it comes to sending music. I mean, I say it all the time. Without the music, we wouldn't have a job. So we do try to listen to everything. I know it's a ridiculous thing to say that we.
How many seconds of a song do you listen to?
Half a second, maybe. We, you know what? We listen to 20, 30 seconds. Well, it's interesting. You know, I remember getting that question 20 years ago, and I'm like, I don't think about how much I'm listening to. You know, if the first 7 seconds is a voice that sounds like mine, then I'm not going to listen to it. But I would scrub through the song. You know, sometimes you need a minute and a half that's over here.
Yeah,
sometimes you can edit the song together.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be really blunt because it's important to be honest. If their vocals are not good, you don't listen to the song. It's pretty big deal to, you know, I know we can talk about Neil Young and we can talk about Bob Dylan. We can talk about vocalists in general who might not have the greatest voice. There's also character voice, and we can get into the nitty gritty. But for me, and the way that I'm working at least, unless it's got an interesting character voice, Tom Waits, for example, it's like, well, what is that? But if you're if one is kind of off key and kind of flat, like I can't do anything with it. I like the song. Oh, I'll get them to record another vocal on it. I don't have time for that.
Not going to happen.
What was your question? Oh, accessible.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to listen to music. So that's just what we do. And it could be 30 seconds, could be the full song, could be the first 20, and then where's the chorus? And then we go to the chorus and we listen to things, and then we'll pop it in this bin, we'll pop it in that bin.
And it has to be a master. It has to sound like it's produced and it's a finished product.
And there's a lot of supervisors who will not take unsolicited material. Now, yes, this isn't necessarily unsolicited because I've met you and I've been here, and I also love coming to these things to get new music also. Like a part of my little selfish thing is, there's going to be like some songs I could listen to and hopefully license. And, but it's tough. I'm not going to, it's a crapshoot. It's a bit of a crapshoot. I hear it all the time, but I equate it to the lottery. Not exactly, but I equate it to the lottery in that it's better, you know, you got to play to win. So if you keep all of your music on your shelf and you don't get it out into the world, whatever you want to do with it, whether you want to be an artist that tours, a songwriter who sits in rooms and writes for other artists, or you want to, you know, just write and try to get songs and TV shows and films, you know, you got to do something about it, right? You got to figure it out.
What's the maximum number of songs that I could send in one email? Obviously, you don't want 20 songs.
Don't send songs.
10?
Send links. Don't send songs.
Never, yeah. But
Never.
Five's good. Let's go with 5 to start.
Never
Links.
send
Never
songs.
attach anything to an email.
Never.
It'll either clog up an email or it'll get deleted right away because we don't have a chance to.
Is a link to Spotify okay? No.
Yeah, a link to SoundCloud or Disco or something where we could stream and or download if we wanted to.
Does graphic qualify as an attachment?
We don't need a graphic.
I wouldn't
though.
send a graphic.
I don't necessarily think I need a graphic. People used to send bios all the time. The only time I care about a bio is when I think we might need an artist or a band to be in a show. You know.
Keywords?
No, I don't care. Usually don't care about. I just keywords on the music.
On
Yes.
the music, yeah. Keywords
Not
for
on
the genre.
not on what you look like.
Yeah.
No. Keywords on the music.
Yeah.
To help you classify.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing is recommended if you like, right? What is that? Recommended if you, RIYL. So you would send to me, hey, Michelle, here's my music. I recommend it if you like. Radiohead, Johnny Greenwood. So you're like, kind of what your music sounds like, where you would put yourself, RIYL.
That's like the two people who got together.
Yeah, it's like the love child of.
But you'll notice Michael's giving you the acronym rather than doing it differently. Rather than sounds like, he's actually saying what he wants. Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, you could do that, or however you want to term it, but yes.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
in the spirit of making somebody's job easier, if the guy's actually saying use that, then don't reinvent the wheel. Disco
is incredible. Just check out Disco. The music is too, mind you. I was a big Saturday Night Fever fan. It was the first vinyl I owned, actually. Weirdly enough, I don't know how that happened.
But the server,
The server, sorry,
yeah.
the software. I
Yeah.
was just going back to
Yeah.
the music for a minute.
Yeah.
And SoundCloud is great. It's okay that it's not downloadable. It's great if it's streamable and downloadable because we could listen to it, park it, or we could listen to it and download it. Metadata. Do we talk about metadata?
We didn't actually talk about metadata, but
When you create your piece of music and you've got an MP3 of it, if we all use iTunes, and I don't know what you use, but in the file of your music, you go to a get info part of your file. When you click on get info, it opens up your MP3 file, and in it are fields: song title, artist,
producer,
owner,
yeah,
whatever you want to write in there, notes, comments. In there, it's really important to say who wrote it, who owns the recording, and who wrote it. There are 3 writers, what percentage you each have, and an email address where I can find you. Because I'm going to take that, if I like it, I'm going to take that MP3 and I'm going to put it somewhere. I'm going to put it in my disco file. I'm going to put it in my iTunes, which has X amount of songs. I'm going to put it somewhere on a server. So I go to that song and I click on it and I start listening. Oh, yeah, I like that song. And I click on the metadata. I'm like, who owns it? And there's no information. That goes right in the garbage because I got no time.
Yeah.
I've got absolutely no time to go look for who it is. It's got a song title. Practice it amongst each other. Practice
Yeah.
it with a friend. Hey, when I sent this to you, did you get it? Is all the information in there. It is called metadata. You can look it up online. You can look it up through your iTunes. Does everybody use iTunes? Is that a horrible assumption? No.
Is that part of the mastering process?
No.
No, this is just in iTunes.
Just in iTunes.
It's-
just
it's-
in your little.
it's accessing
You have 20,000
the MP3.
songs in iTunes.
Yeah.
You could actually click on any song that you have in there. It might have metadata. I can't even tell you how important that is. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's like not putting a price tag on a product.
Right.
Okay, that's maybe not the greatest example.
Or not putting your name on a
Or your name on your
an
T-shirt for
yeah.
camp, so you lose it, right?
Or an essay
know?
you've submitted it for school.
Right. Well, unless you don't want anyone to know you
That's
wrote that
true.
piece of
Yeah.
junk.
We have to wrap up. John
Yeah.
Glover gets the last
We
question.
did talk earlier about that, if you're working in Logic, that you put metadata and
Right.
it's free, but not for the higher quality.
So it's interesting, for WAV files, it doesn't actually take. There's no metadata. You can't even
Yeah.
do that. But if you were to ever send a WAV file, you just have to list it somewhere else.
Well,
But
and
usually you send MP3s, and then if we love the tune,
you'll ask for a wave.
and then we're fine.
Yeah.
That is great.
The wave. The wave file is the higher quality, and so you wouldn't be sending that until
Later on.
until
Yeah.
you were being asked.
That's
to.
right.
So an MP3 is the way to send it.
You can put high quality files on SoundCloud or
You can.
Yeah, you can,
Yeah.
but
but you lose the metadata.
yeah, and for this purpose, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when you're on SoundCloud, you can still have metadata in your SoundCloud account
Yeah.
or whatever it is. You
Yeah.
can add things.
Okay, we have to wrap up. Unfortunately, I know we could go for another hour, I'm sure, with Michael, but he has to go too. But I want you to give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, guys.
Michael Perlmutter. So there.
Thank you.
Thank you
That was
very
good times. Thanks for the questions. Really, really great. Insightful. I learned lots myself, so thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed this little taste of the SongStudio workshop in Toronto in July 2022. Stay tuned for more.